And they're off. For the opener, the New Atlas Status 5 Holiday Home Nursery Handicap over 6 furlongs, and Bright Speed being shown from If Only They Could Talk in the spotted jacket up towards the outside of Dandy Prince. They are the leading two. With close-up in behind them, Celestial Flight in the dark blue and yellow jacket, the green of Candy House and the light blue of Mr. Vlier over towards the inside. That one being tracked a couple of lengths further back by Chatterpline, and then comes Mistress Tater and Star of Latziza right at the back end of the field, together with Keep Warm, as they now begin the incline towards the final 3 furlongs. And it's a 2.5 to 3 length lead here, possessed by If Only They Could Talk, to in second position Dandy Prince as they're now on the home turn. Up into third is Celestial Flight, ahead of him fourth Mr. Vlier, then comes Candy House from along the inner Chatterpline, who'll be looking for a way through. Keep Warm likewise is still right at the back end of the field as Mistress Tater begins a run down the wide outside. They've now got to If Only They Could Talk, making the approach to the final furlong. The gap along the rails emerges for Chatterpline, but taking over now is Dandy Prince. Dandy Prince the leader from Chatterpline. Keep Warm on the far side is rattling home. Star of Latziza also getting competitive. Mistress Tater out wide. Keep Warm was ridden for luck, but it's paid off here in the hands of Billy Garrett. He gets home in front. From last to first, Keep Warm got the better of Dandy Prince. They were followed through by Star of Latziza and Chatterpline over to the rails.
Keep Warm the winner at 100 to 30 for Mick and David Easterby. Dandy Prince second at 7 to 1, and Star of Laziz 15 to 2 was back in third place and 9 ran. Well, David Easterby said before the race that he felt that the strip against the far rail on this particular occasion was the place to be, and his winner here, Keep Warm, was ridden for luck from stall 11, dropped out, cut across to the rail, waited for a gap and got it in the end under Billy Garrity. There was a bit of a pace meltdown. The early fractions were very strong, and this horse took full advantage.
Keep Warm has won our opening race under an enterprise and ride from Billy Garrity. You just had to ride your luck.
That's it, really. Me and David walked the track just before racing and decided the best place to be was bang down the inside because it hasn't been used. So 2.5 down, I either made my move or I sort of took a pull and dropped back down to the rail and see if I could get a run there. Luckily enough, it worked. Obviously, on some occasions it wouldn't work, but yeah, I got the brakes, which is the main thing.
What would you call the ground?
I thought it was just nice soft ground, really. Do you know?
Soft ground?
I'd go softish ground, really, for them. You know, they finished quite
Too
tired, but they're getting through it. It's not like it's gluey. You know what I mean? They're getting through it, which is the main thing.
Next up was a maiden. It was over 1.25 miles, and the William Haggis trained Star Hoy was a warm order here, 8 to 13 favourite.
And they're off and running. Jumping out then for the Music Night and Beer Festival, the 21st of July. Maiden Stakes. Breakpoint is taking plenty of encouragement from the starting stalls, is at the back end of the field early, as up front Iron Lion along the inside of Jamira King in the spotted jacket of the first two. With close-up in behind them, the short price, the well-backed favourite at Star Ahoy, the blue cap, a little deeper out of Cuttlestone Bridge. 1.5 lengths back off those is Wonderwall, chased another 2 away by Renoir, and out a bit wider Zane Far. And then comes Light and Airy with Mr. Cudahy, and then at the rear end of the field, Breakpoint and My Boy Benji, as they now head towards the penultimate turn in the race, and they're around about 6.5 furlongs from home. With Iron Lion under Danny Tudhope setting the pace, 3/4 of a length clear. Jamira King is in second, 2 lengths back to Cuttlestone Bridge along the inside of Star Ahoy. Renoir and Wonderwall are the next two, followed a further length and a half back by Light and Airy, who's in black and white silks along the inside of Zane Far. Then Breakpoint and Mr. Cudahy, and finally the red sleeves of My Boy Benji. They're galloping on towards the final half a mile of their journey, and still Iron Lion holds the call, but only narrowly from on the outside Jamira King, and they are 2 lengths away from Star Ahoy up towards the outside of the now ridden along Cuttlestone Bridge as they're making the journey on up the hill now, back towards the final 3 furlongs. Wonderwall is travelling strongly in black and grey silks towards the outside as Iron Lion kicks for home here, and Iron Lion boots away by 3. He's going to take a little bit of catching here, is Iron Lion. line. In second position on swinging in Jumeirah King, who had no response to the leader's advantage a furlong or so back. Star Ahoy is in third but needs more. Further back to Wonderwall, and then Zane Farr and Renoir as they make the journey on towards the closing stages. Iron Lion kicked a long way from home, and Star Ahoy is beginning to close the gap. Just 1.5 lengths between the pair. It's Iron Lion over to the far side from Star Ahoy. Star Ahoy is still gaining, and Wonderwall is as well. Star Ahoy gets to Iron Lion. Here's Wonderwall over the top. Star Ahoy! Star Ahoy lasted it out from the fast finishing Wonderwall. Iron Lion, who gave it his all to the inside, and those three were clear.
Star Ahoy gets the job done by a neck, the 8-13 favourite. Wonderwall second at 9-1. Iron Lion third at 3-1, all 11 round. A slow final time here of 2 minutes 13 over 10 furlongs. The ground is a little bit tacky, and that'll have something to do with the time. And also the gallop wasn't that strong. The third horse made the running and got his own way out in front, and he took a bit of pegging back, but the winner got there in the end, leaving every yard of this mile and a quarter trip. Wonderwall likewise shaped as if he wants even a little bit further, staying on strongly in the closing stages.
He came a strong book of rides today, Tom Marquand. He's on the mark with Star Ahoy. He deserved to do that. You had to be hard on him.
Yeah, I did. Look, it's obviously a pretty different experience coming up around a track like this from a nice straight mile at Newmarket last time. But look, the extra bit of distance obviously helped him sort of get there in time. And look, I think it'd be fair to him saying he's a horse that's going to improve with racing. And sort of once he really realises what's happening around him, he'll, I'm sure he'll come to.
He's still a full horse, maybe further down the line, gelding a bit further. Yeah,
definitely options. But look, he's a big physical horse, and as I say, racing should tighten him up and just teach him where his feet are, because around here they really have to sort of concentrate and get moving, and it just took him a little bit of time to work out how to do that.
And once you've done it and you got your win, you got wiped out of sleep getting pulled up.
He got caught up in a few legs, but look, he pulled up fine, no marks, so that's the main thing.
The feature event was next at 3:20, the Pipalong Stakes. Listed status for this contest, a mile the trip, and the favourites Purple Pay, a 7-4 shot.
They're ready. They're off. This afternoon's feature here at Pontefract is the Weatherby's Digital Solutions Pipalong Stakes. And leading the field for this listed event early is Espresso in a yellow-coloured jacket with the grey Mary Salome down along the inside. The Winter Oaks winner, Alla Gala, is a little wider out of Zenga, who races along the inside, currently in 4th place, and that one keeping company with Purple Pay, the favourite, the green sleeves and cap as they whiz around their first turn. Further down the pack is Love Interest, who's in a grey-coloured jacket up around the outside of Gorla, and in rear, the final two, Fall in Love and Held Up at King Mania. So making the journey all the way back towards us, and from here they have around about 5 furlongs left to travel in the Pipalong. They're being led by Espresso under Joe Fanning, little more than a length in front over Mary Salome and Alla Gala, with Purple Pay nicely positioned a little wider out of Zenga. Back in at 6th spot is Love Interest as they now begin the climb back towards home. Gorla is over towards the inside running next, and still in rear both Fall in Love and King Mania as they're now galloping on towards the entrance to the straight, and from here 2.5 furlongs left to travel in today's feature race. It is Espresso looking to make all here. Alla Gala on the outside beginning to mount a challenge. Back in behind them, Purple Pay is now being shaken up deeper out of Mary Salome as Espresso tries to kick here, making the run on towards the final furlong. Espresso giving it a good go from Alla Gala in second. Purple Pay down the outside. Gorla running on over towards the inner. They still haven't got to Espresso yet, but there is still time for the closers. Gorla with the white face is thundering home in between runners. Purple Pay down the outside. Gorla gets to the front, and it's an Irish winner of the Pipalong. Gorla got to Espresso close home. Without wider, Purple Pay. Zenga was staying on. Alla Gala and King Mania were the next two.
Dalith at 9-1 beat Espresso 11-1, and the favourite Purple Pay only third. It was sent off the 7-4 favourite, 9 ran. Well, the first two home here rode the rail, and it has become apparent that that's the place to be on this occasion at Pontefract. The winner, Espresso, got an easy lead out in front. It looked like he'd stolen it under Joe Fanning, but Dalith for the Gavin Cromwell team spied a gap inside the final furlong and picked up well for PJ McDonald. Purple Pay, who'd been in 2 Grade 1s in Australia on his last couple of starts, one paced in third.
Well done, good trainer, good ride.
Exactly, no. Absolute little warrior. Wouldn't be very big, but to be fair, Gavin was a little bit worried. He was hoping to have a bit more rain. And from that draw, they didn't go that quick.
Yeah.
And I thought I'm just going to have to try and be brave. And to be fair, trying to ride her to nick a bit of third, but because they didn't go quick, it opened up lovely for me. And as soon as she got one gap, she just took them and she flew. Then, yeah, no, she's tough.
And you were keen to keep over that far side. You look at Pontefract, it's open for you.
Yeah, no, exactly. But like I said, I knew when the pace wasn't quick early that they were going to have to attack Joe at some point, and I was. I was just hoping it wouldn't be too late, and they managed to get at him early, and I got that bit of room on the bend, and look at I had a willing partner. She galloped out to the line good, and she's done her job now. She's got a bit of black type,
Absolutely, great bit of placing. And he sent Earls over to keep her company in the horse box. Did he give you much hope?
Yeah, no, exactly. Look at both horses were just to see what happens. Haven't been tied down to instructions, which probably the reason why I wasn't panicking there in that listed race. But no, so we'll try and do something similar. Hopefully there's a bit of pace on, and we'll try and ride for third, and nothing else is a bonus.
Absolutely. Well, you won the feature. Well done.
Cheers, Niall. Thank you.
Decent 6 furlong sprint handicap was next. Kit Eye was the favourite, quite well supported, 2-1, having been 9-4. Summergand next in at 100-30.
And we are just about set. And off. Ali's Dancer just missing the kick somewhat for this, the Iveco Daily Business trimline at Northern Commercial's handicap. Away well towards the outside of Felios in company with It Just Takes Time. Bay Breeze is close up in third. The favourite Kit Eye in the red and white hooped cap is over along the inside of Summergand, and Earls in rear together with Ali's Dancer as the winners of getting on for nearly £1 million in win and place prize money move on past the 4 marker and now begin the uphill climb back for home. Felios in the noseband a little wider out of It Just Takes Time. Bay Breeze now chased along is in third. Kit Eye up the rail. Summergand, the brown cap, is a little deeper out. Earls following with Ali's Dancer. Making the journey on back towards the home straight. They've got just over 2 furlongs to travel, and It Just Takes Time who still shows up prominently together with Aphelios. It Just Takes Time kicks on from Aphelios. Kit Eye, however, is looking very menacing with Summergand out wider, flat out. Kit Eye now launches her bid with a furlong to run. It Just Takes Time along the inside is struggling to respond, and Kit Eye boots away by a little more than a length in the closing stage as she looks a progressive filly up in class today, and she's really coped with it well. Kit Eye runs them ragged in the end, beating It Just Takes Time at a second. Earls through for third, and further back to Bay Breeze and Aphelios.
Impressive from Kit Eye, the 2-1 favourite, beating It Just Takes Time, who was 5-1, the winning time. Pretty quick, 1:14.93 given conditions, and Kit Eye in winning here was backing up a recent success at Carlisle, where she cruised through that 7 furlong contest and won as she liked in a fast time. Well, another fast time to her name here, but this time over 6 furlongs. She tracked the pace against the rail again. Indeed, the second rode the rail as well throughout. Kit Eye, though, angled out, found a gap and sprinted clear. Really impressive.
A feature handicaps went away with Charlie Johnson. Kit Eye following up that impressive success at Carlisle. Back in trip, but equally as impressive.
Yeah, I think thought she would be quite a disappointment.
When Joe pulled her,
When wait for age, so
I know you don't like.
who's back on track.
I know you don't like seconds, but express.
Wait for age, so the handicapper shouldn't get too carried away with it. But she's a nice filly who's back on track.
I know you don't like seconds, but Express to run a blinder in that listed race.
It's one of those, isn't it? If you'd offered me that this morning, I'd have bitten your hand off.
Yeah.
But when you think you're going to win at half furlong out to get collared, it's a bit gutting. But the owners decided to keep her in training as a 4-year-old to try and get black type, so that decision's been justified, and great result for them.
4:30, the handicap over 1.5 miles. Carrick Lily was the 100-30 favourite, quite well backed. Where's Jeff? 4-1.
We're ready to go now. And they're off. Jumping away over 1.5 miles, dropped in at the back end of the field. Where's Jeff for this, the Atlas Leisure Homes Limited handicap, and it is the Sir Mark Prescott runner, spritz in, straight into an early lead. From in second position, Cosmic View over towards the inside. The grey horse Carrigillahy a little wider out. Krona running in behind them. Where's Jeff is running very wide on the track here. Billy Garrity and Where's Jeff on the wide outside doing a complete solo. All of the other riders sticking over towards the inner as they make their progress over on the far side of the track. Dundori is well down in a green coloured jacket. That one just up in behind Big Cheese and also towards the back end of the field as they're about to make another turn. Tiger 10 with Billy No Mate. So up front it is Spritzin, by around about a length and a half. Where's Jeff losing an awful lot of ground by racing on the wide outside here, is now quite some way back in last place as they head towards the next turn, which will bring them on towards the final 7 furlongs or so of their journey. And it is Spritzin under Dara Keenan who shows out in front as they make this turn, being tracked through by Krona. Cosmic View, though, still just about hanging on to second, and they're being followed by Carragillihy in fourth. Big Cheese and Dundori are following, and then Billy No Mates and Tiger 10, and Where's Jeff, who possibly hasn't been the easiest to control throughout the first half of the race and is a further 3 lengths away in last. They're making the journey on now with under 5 furlongs left to travel, and it is Spritzin who leads. A length or so to the good over Cosmic View, then Krona. From Carragillihy running in fourth, with back in behind those Big Cheese and Dundori, Billy No Mates and Tiger 10, and then a 3-length break back to Where's Jeff, as shortly they'll be beginning the uphill climb back towards home, and Spritzin continuing to lead. To in second position on the outside, Cosmic View, who's now being nudged up to try and mount a challenge, with back in behind them Krona along the fence, now shaken along, with in fourth Carragillihy being pushed along. Next is Big Cheese as they're on the home turn. Spritzin now asked to try and settle this with 2 furlongs left to travel. Straightens up in front here, the filly Spritzin, chased hard by Cosmic View. Carragillihy's coming home well. Big Cheese away to the left, the brown sleeves, as Carragillihy now launches an assault on Spritzin, making the approach to the final furlong. Spritzin has given it a good go, but Carragillihy is right alongside. Big Cheese is back in third, then Billy No Mates, 100 yards to go. It's Carragillihy in front here by a neck or so to Spritzin. Carragillihy likes it here at Pontefract, and it's win number 5 here, and a birthday winner for jockey David Allen. Spritzin fought all the way. They were followed through by Billy No Mates, Big Cheese and Krona.
Carragillihy, the winner, the 100 to 30 favourite for Tim Easterby and David Allen. Spritzin second at 9 to 2 and Billy No Mates third at 15 to 2. First 2 here were always prominent throughout this contest, and Carragillihy, who's got a good record at this track, was just too quick in the closing stages for Spritzin, who was making his debut in a handicap for the Sir Mark Prescott team and ran well from the front, although he did have the benefit of the rail for much of the race. Carragillihy running on strongly in the closing stages. Also Billy No Mates in the yellow colours. He made some late headway and snatched third in the closing stages. His trainer believes he wants further than this, and this was sufficient evidence of that.
5 successes for Carragillihy here at Pontefract, by this man Tim Easterby.
Ground, but right at the back. Last race here, he ran in the
Sky Bets.
Yeah, and he just got a bad break. He jumped out right at the back, and that was it. He never got into it.
Yeah. Big weekend, obviously. York coming up, John Smith's Cup, Manny Gordo, good old Cruyff turn, Barley. You got 3 entries.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we've got a few entries, for the weekend, and we've got Art Power in the July Cup,
Yeah.
So.
Is David going to go down that way?
I'm not sure who rides him yet. It's a bit exciting sort of a day for him, really. He loves good ground.
He loves the Curragh.
He loves the Curragh. So yeah, there is a race there for him in a fortnight actually. But we're going to Newmarket first.
And the ones that Manny Gordo, Cruyff turn in particular, he's been a really nice horse.
Yeah, Cruyff turn. He's in the. He's in the at Newmarket. Quite a few winners there. I think the weight children are. Cheers, thanks.
And finally at 5:05, a handicap over a mile. One of the better backed horses of the day was Lerwick, who went off the 7 to 4 favourite.
They're lined up and they're off and running. Our final race of the day is the Charles Stewart & Co. Steve Evans Memorial Handicap. And in the very early stages, Lerwick along the inside of Phoenix Fire are the first couple ahead of Paternoster Square, just being chased along for a few strides there. He was quite laid back in the preliminaries himself, but now just engaging a slightly higher gear, is in third place ahead of Highclere running in fourth. And then to the inside, the nose-banded Do I Dream, with Cassio in blue colours in between runners, and out a bit wider is Mossbourne. It's a pretty steady gallop. They are tightly grouped as they head along the side of the track and now towards the final 5 furlongs. Lerwick in front, to in second position, Phoenix Fire. Then chases Paternoster Square and Highclere, without a bit wider Mossbourne, and towards the rear Do I Dream and Cassio. Well, they'd barely blow a candle out at the moment as they make the run inside their final half a mile. The uphill climb back towards the straight. Lerwick in the spots, narrowly in front of Phoenix Fire in the diamonds. Paternoster Square in the stripes towards the inside of Highclere, and then pushed along to the outside Mossbourne, and still towards the rear both Do I Dream and Casio as they now begin to quicken things off the front. Lerwick in the lead here under Callum Rodriguez, passing the 2 furlong marker to in second position, driven along Phoenix Fire. Paternoster Square looking for a way out. Deeper out then to Highclere, then Do I Dream and Casio as they race down to the final furlong, and Lerwick is holding on at the moment. Lerwick is more than a length in front now to Phoenix Fire and Paternoster Square. Casio staying on a little in behind them, but all the way here it's Lerwick set a slow pace under Callum Rodriguez and makes all the running, and Lerwick is off the mark at the 6th time of asking, beating Paternoster Square and then Phoenix Fire and Casio on the outside.
Lerwick wins, 7-4 favourite, beating Paternoster Square into second. That one 6-1 and 7 round. Well, this was a case of favourite gets easy lead and rides favourable rail to success. As simple as that, really, for Callum Rodriguez. He was always able to do what he wanted out in front, setting sedate fractions and then just picking up nicely in the home straight. Lerwick to wins going away for the informed Ed Bethelard. The runner-up against the rail has run pretty well under Harry Burns. First time in a handicap, so there might be more to come from him. But Lerwick, ears pricked, does it easily. So winners at Pontefract, some interesting racing and plenty of favourites going in. Star Hoy, well-backed odds-on favourite. Kittai, quite well backed too in the 3:55. Carrick Lily in the 4:30 and Lerwick in the last. The feature event went to Darleith. The time was pretty good, 2.26 outside, but the best time by a mile was Kittai in the 3:55. 1:14.93 for 6 furlongs, just 0.63 outside standard on tacky ground.